Dearly beloved, thank you once again for joining us on the Seven Slot Society podcast, the off-road lifestyle podcast that absolutely no one asked for. This is the last one, guys. This is the very, very last one for 2020. So this podcast, I just kind of want to do a little bit of recap like I did last year. I do have some surprises coming up. Hopefully, if everything works out, we will have this up on all the podcast streaming platforms as well as YouTube and Facebook. I only decided to do this 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. So I have a couple call-in phone guests that we're going to try and get on here. I don't know if it's going to work. I do know for sure one person that we're going to talk to today, Mr. Jarrett Crawford, but that's going to be a little bit later. This podcast is going to be a little segmented, broken up a little bit, but the biggest thing that I wanted to get across, I think, for this podcast specifically is that 2020 was fucking insane. It really, really sucked for a lot of people, and I know that, and I feel that, and I have so much empathy for that. But with all the people talking about how much 2020 sucked, that didn't lose their house, didn't lose their business, didn't lose their job, it's like, it sucked that you couldn't go to the bar and shit, but I didn't have a terrible 2020, and for some reason I feel guilty about saying that. Like, my year didn't suck. I looking back on it, I had a pretty fucking good year, and I want to take this opportunity and take this platform to put out a little bit of positivity. Not a little bit, a lot of it. I want to talk about every single good thing that happened this year, because a lot of people did have a shitty year, but I don't want us to get caught up in this just like gang banging on 2020. 2020 sucked. Yeah, it did suck for a lot of people, but for a lot of other people, it didn't suck. I had a terrific year. And I feel like all the other people saying that 2020 sucked is making me feel bad about saying that it didn't suck. But to put it in perspective, every year businesses go under. Every year people get sick and die. Every year, people can't do stuff that they did the year before. I want to make sure that I'm empathetic, but at the same time, I want to promote the good things that happened. Put some positivity out there. I don't know. This is going to be a fucking weird and hard podcast, and I'm already feeling weird and hard. I mean, what? I don't know. It's just, bleh, can't even talk. It's one of those topics that feels weird to talk about, but that makes me want to discuss it even more. So 2020 sucked for a lot of people. It didn't suck for me, and I want to take this podcast to tell you, and if you're watching the video, show you why my year didn't suck. And maybe that can in some way help you, make you laugh. I don't know. Hopefully you glean something from it. We'll see. Okay, so now we have Mr. Jarrett Crawford, Crawl TV, Baja Designs, on the line right now. If you're watching the video, I'll put his cute little face up here. Mr. Jarrett, how are you today, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing really good. And it was really nice to get a text from you at 4:45 a.m. on the West Coast.
I had already been up for like 3 or 4 hours.
I was just waking up.
All right. So like I said before we started recording, 2020 has sucked for a lot of people, but a lot of good things have happened to a lot of people that I like. So I kind of want to highlight that and end 2020 on a high note instead of a very, very depressing note, which would be entirely too easy. So I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, we got to see each other 3 fucking times this year.
3 whole times.
3 whole times, which is unheard of. King of the Hammers in February in Johnson Valley. Sand Hollow in Utah in, when was that? October?
Yeah.
And then in Texas in December.
Yes.
Dude, how fucking crazy is that? We've been talking for how many years now and have never met in person, and all of a sudden, boom, 3 in a row.
And not only 3 in a row, but progressively more intimate.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. That I didn't even think about that. At King of the Hammers for like 5 minutes twice with thousands of other people.
Yep.
And then Utah with a house of maybe 10 or 15 people.
Where we shared a bunk bed.
We did share a bunk bed. And then in Texas, where it was just 3 of us, and we shared an RV. That's fucking crazy, dude. See, that's the kind of shit that I want to talk about. That's like happy stuff.
Oh, super happy. That made my year.
It made my year. So what is one thing that happened to you this year that was off-road related that was like the best thing that happened to you?
Off-road related?
Off-road related, because I know you've had a lot of great stuff happen outside of off-road. I
Yeah,
want to try and keep it focused here.
sure, sure. I've got something that comes to mind that's super easy because it was epic. Um, I don't wheel very often these days.
Right, unfortunately.
Yeah, you and I are doing a podcast right now about off-roading, and we're the least off-roady guys.
That's true. You've wheeled more than I have this year.
Yeah, but I did get to take my Jeep up through the Rubicon Trail with Luke,
Mm-hmm.
and you know Luke now.
I do. Big
He's
fan.
rad. He's awesome.
Yeah.
We had such a good time because, like doing a event like a Jeep Jamboree is awesome if it's your first time. If it's not your first feeling, you spend a lot of time on the trail just kind of waiting in line.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the trip was 3 days, and so you have a day into Rubicon Springs, and then you just have a day off, and then you leave the following day.
Right.
So getting to call that my job, just hanging out with like Dave Schlossberg from Synergy,
Mm-hmm.
just like feet in the water, drinking beer all day in the middle Tahoe area in California was epic. Like hands down, best day of the year.
Hell yes. I very much enjoyed the YouTube video, and then also enjoyed all your story posting.
Yeah.
That made me
that's
happy.
That's relevant to 2020 on Crawl TV, I think.
Yes, I think so. So that goes into my next question. Are there any goals for Crawl TV for 2021? Do you have anything planned?
I don't know if I've even talked to you about this.
I bet you talked to Luke about it.
So I do have a Jeep Scrambler, and I haven't shared it on the channel.
Okay.
I set myself a goal for January 1st. So this is super ironic that I'm talking to you about it because my goal for 2021 starts tomorrow. Obviously, it's the new year.
Right.
But it starts with kind of a rejuvenation of my YouTube stuff. So before we jumped on the podcast, I was talking to you on the phone, and I was telling you that I'm finishing up the siding on my house.
Right.
I just bought a truck. I'm doing all this like background noise stuff and staying off the internet because I'm trying to get stuff done.
Right.
But it's specifically so that I can switch gears. So I'm actually in 2021 selling the JK.
Oh, for real? Didn't that happen a couple times in 2020?
It did, but no, it's for real.
Okay.
I bought the truck, and the only way I justified buying a truck was I'm gonna sell the Jeep if I buy this truck.
Okay.
So that's how I'm gonna transition a lot of the money from selling that Jeep into a new project that's not a JK, because I'm kind of burnt out on JKs, and I think the JK market's kind of burnt out on JKs. So,
it's a little bit saturated.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go way back in time to the 80s, and
that makes me so happy, dude.
Yeah, I'm building a CJ8, and it's fully original right now. It's got the manual, the jack, it's got the wood sides on the bed, the original shovel, the original axe, the original jerry cans.
It was
owned by a Marine who bought it brand new, and he had it parked in his front yard, and I drove past it probably 30 times.
Oh my goodness.
Kept pestering him. He ran for it, and I ended up buying it. He called me like 4 months later, and I ended up for $2,500. So 30,000.
What a steal.
30,000 miles on it. So yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a super steal. And I've been really hush quiet about it because I don't want to half-ass the YouTube channel. So I just haven't come back yet.
Right. That makes sense.
I'd be able to give it my full ass.
Yeah. Don't half-ass two things, whole ass one thing.
Exactly. So that's why I'm right now.
Smart. Well, I don't blame you one bit. I'm so excited. That makes me so jazzed. That like changed the tune of my day now. Fuck yeah, dude. Well, yeah. I am gonna let you get back to your very busyness. I just want to say thank you for being, first of all, just a good fucking friend, dude. I love you very much. And second of all, for giving me an opportunity to work for you and Baja Designs in 2020, which is also something that I am discussing in the other segment of this podcast.
Oh, heck yeah. No, it's been a sincere pleasure, man. And that's another thing that's been super cool about the 3 times that we've met. One time we ran into each other, and then we lived together and you worked for PRP, but I was still busy because I was doing Baja Design stuff and you were doing PRP stuff.
Right.
And then last time we did Baja Design stuff, and I was a little bit drunk in ham sandwich most.
I don't like I said before, it wasn't too much, but maybe my level for dealing with it is just super high.
I think because I look back on it and I'm like, man, I was hammered like the whole time. But yeah, it was a good time.
It definitely was. Is Baja Designs in for hammers? Will I see you again?
Oh, you bet your butt.
Yes.
I have coordinated everything to partner up with PRP. We're sharing a booth. We're probably sharing a trailer and I'm going to be the only one there from Baja Designs.
Really?
Yep. I'm on a solo mission for my company for King of the Hammers because nobody wants to invest the manpower, risk getting anybody sick. Nobody wants to send out inventory if nobody shows up.
Right.
There's so many questions, but on my end, it's first of all, it's my job to do the event.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go regardless, but nobody really knows how this year's going to turn out yet.
Yeah, I'm very, very apprehensive. I have a lot of money out right now out of my pocket for hammers, and I am just praying and hoping that nothing crazy happens.
You're like the number one supporter of King of the Hammers on Facebook. So
hey, so somebody else was talking shit about this the other day. I know you're not, but one of my friends was messaging me. He's like, "Hey, no wonder your media badge got approved so fast. You're sucking their dicks on Facebook." And I'm like, "Listen, these guys are getting their dicks beat into the fucking dirt on social every fucking time they post.
They are.
So I just want to be like, hey man, good job."
Yeah. No, I had to do this is kind of funny, and then we can end the podcast with my segment here. But I had to do kind of a climate survey. Like I called a meeting at Baja Designs, and I was like, "Look, this is the situation with King of the Hammers. Like, I've already filed BLM permits. I've already filed for the booth. We paid $10,000 already. Like this is happening, but it might just be me because this is the situation." And then I was like, "So this is what they posted on Facebook regarding the COVID tests, and, a negative result within 72 hours or being turned around at the gate, but they'll have rapid response available and all this stuff." And but I was like, I printed off a bunch of the comments, and then I highlighted one comment because I wanted to just share with my workplace like what the general vibe is on the internet with people responding to King of the Hammers. And my favorite comment that I shared with everybody was, "Fuck this and fuck you."
Right? It's just like that's unnecessary.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, just don't go.
Yeah, and it was probably some dude from fucking Massachusetts who wasn't going to go anyway.
Right. But I was like, this is how some people feel about this.
Oh my God. Too much. Well, fingers crossed, prayers, hopes, dreams, whatever you want to call it, that King of the Hammers goes well, goes smoothly, and then I get to see your beautiful face again.
Absolutely. That would make my 2021.
All righty, dude. We'll talk to you later. I love you, man.
All right. Love you too, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Mr. Jarrett Crawford, Crawl TV, Baja Designs. I said it while we were on the phone. I'll say it again. Thank you for your friendship, man. It really means a lot to me to know that I have someone in my corner that I can talk to about anything. So, love you, buddy. 2021. I cannot wait to see where Crawl TV goes. Okay, crazy, beautiful people. Please bear with me. We're going to be jumping around just a little bit. But I actually went through my phone and looked at all the pictures and came up with something for each month for this whole year, something good that happened. So I'm going to go through that right now. Like I said, there are probably some people listening to this that really had a shit year. And I'm going to say this a million more times. I empathize with that deeply, but I also want to try and focus on the positive things instead of just letting this year end in a slump. So January started off, it was a big deal for me. It may not sound like a big deal, but I was actually able to create and post an Instagram filter. The What 4x4 Are You? I had to go in using Spark AR through some virtual stuff with Facebook. It took me probably about a week. It would have taken anybody who knew what they were doing, maybe 20 minutes. But that was a really big deal for me. I sat down, I told myself that I was going to figure this out and I was going to do it and it was going to get approved and get on Instagram. And it did. And that was a really big deal for me. The other thing in January, I was also able to get this recorder that I'm using right now. Due to all you guys blowing out the store, buying all of the things, buying all the decals, buying all the shirts, all the hats, I was able to buy this Zoom H6 recorder. This is 100% due to you guys, so 1,000 thank yous. you were able to help me up the production quality of videos and podcasts and that sort of stuff. For February, obviously, was King of the Hammers. I was blessed. I was bestowed the blessing by Kyle Neubauer from PRP to work for them for King of the Hammers. It was probably one of the hardest events that I've ever shot, just due to the turnaround time and spending all day shooting and all night editing. But I would not trade that experience for anything in the world. Not one thing. Absolutely incredible experience. I've done multiple podcasts about that, so I'm not going to dwell on it too long. But the other really good thing, and probably even better than King of the Hammers, if I'm going to be honest, was that Lamb Chop had his last dose of chemo, his last chemo appointment. He's in full remission right now. Hopefully we are going to talk to him in a little bit. But that was really important for me, and I'm so fucking glad that shit's over for him. And then March came, and the PRP seats came. If you didn't know, I did a little design contest and ended up with some pink seats with camo, so that was super sweet. Definitely made for some good content, and those seats are a head turner. That's for sure. The other thing that happened in March, I swapped out the front axle in the Comanche that I bought from Mr. Christian Clark. He also gave me a high pinion 410 front. That was what got swapped in. Thank you again, buddy. I appreciate that. And in May, I got the ATEM Mini Pro. That may not mean anything to you, but that's the reason I'm able to switch cameras when I'm doing live shows and stuff like that. It's more of an exciting thing if you're a nerd like me for audiovisual stuff, but that was really important, so I felt like mentioning it. In June, I swapped out the steering column in the Comanche. We also did a day trip to the Cove with Lamb Chop, and I got to catch up with Mr. Aaron Osterman a little bit. That was fun. Living in Michigan, so he doesn't get down here too often, so it was nice to see him and Brooke's smiling faces. In July, I shot a race in Attica, New York with Lamb Chop and Philip Casper. That's kind of his home turf and his home park up there. But that was really fun. That was a weekend, 3 days. Went up there, shot the race. It was a really good time. And then immediately following that, right on the heels of Attica, I drove down to Tennessee, AOP in Tennessee, Adventure Off-Road Park, and shot the Ultra 4 Teardown in Tennessee. I went by myself. I drove by myself. I was actually able to meet up with Foster and his amazing wife down there. We did some photographs. I did just a little bit of video, but that didn't make it into any videos or anything, but mostly just photos. Terrific time. Camped, got to use a new tent. It's always fun going to an Ultra 4 event. That weekend was definitely turn and burn, though, because I drove down I drove down Thursday, shot all day Friday and Saturday, and then packed up my gear and drove back home Saturday night, which was a bad idea because that is a long drive. In August, I started the teardown / rebuild of the YJ, putting everything back together, getting set up for redoing the exhaust, brake lines, fuel lines, steering, stuff like that. September was when the mysterious gift from Jarrett, Baja Designs, showed up. It was a big box full of lights that I was not expecting, nor did I ask for. Thank you so much, Jarrett. Hopefully the first month of 2021, the YJ will be running, have power, so I can hook up the rest of those lights. But I really appreciate that, man. I also got a dumpster fire tattoo from Randy, my buddy Randy, old Jeep friend. I've known him since, 2013, 2014. But he is a very talented tattoo artist here in Virginia, in the Fredericksburg area. He was able to hook me up with the dumpster fire tattoo that I have. That was definitely one of my highlights. And then in October was the Sand Hollow trip with PRP. Again, Kyle Neubauer from PRP asked me if I would come out and shoot an event with them in Sand Hollow for 5 or 6 days. That was a real pleasure, a real treat. Thank you again, Kyle. It was so much fun. I've done podcasts about this before, so I'm not going to harp on it. And then secondly, and more importantly, my third son was born. It was a little touch and go there. I thought that the baby was going to be born slightly before I was supposed to leave for Sand Hollow, and that I would have to cancel. But sitting in the hospital the first time before she actually gave birth, We had a little scare where we thought the baby was coming, but he wasn't. And I was supposed to leave the next day or the day after. And we're sitting in the hospital, and the trap queen looks at me and goes, "I still want you to go." And that was the most ridiculous shit ever. If she had had the baby, obviously I wouldn't have gone. But just that she supports me so much, so to that point, to that degree, just blows my mind. I do not deserve her, babe. Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me. She's sitting above me right now, with this small baby while I record a podcast. So thank you, babe. I love you so much. In November, this was a big deal for me. We got to see Brandon and Krista Henderson, who are very, very old 7-Slot supporters. Not that they are old in their age. They have been there since the beginning. Since they were there, I knew Brandon before 7-Slot. Yeah. They are, I think Brandon was one of the first people that I made friends with when I moved from California to Virginia. Yeah, they're like the OG of the OG. So it was really good to see them. Love you guys. Hopefully 2021 we can see each other a little bit more. And then bringing it back to December, like we talked about with Jarrett, I was able to work with Baja Designs at a Red Bull event in Decatur, Texas. That was unexpected. Jarrett sent me a text message and said, "So, what are you doing so-and-so?" I said, "I'm not sure. Depends on what you say next." He said, "I want you to come down to Texas for the weekend." And I was like, fucking yes, I'm there. That was a terrific event. We're still working through the footage and the creative process for that video, but you should be able to check that out on Baja Designs social media sooner or later. Last and finally, we did our most successful ever hoodie order. Not a pre-order, it's just a hoodie order. You can see this pink and gold one that I'm wearing. Thank you to Ray Wolf for putting up with my nonsense and shenanigans and stupid hoodie things. So that is kind of where I'm at with 2020. Every single month, something good happened. I truly believe if you look for good stuff, you will find it. If you're looking for bad things, if you're looking for sadness, if you're looking for things that will make you upset, you're going to find those things. If you look for the stuff that's good in life, I feel like you're going to find that. Just scrolling through my phone, through the pictures, trying to find out what happened in what month, there was a lot of stuff on there that I remember it having a bad connotation for me. But I chose not to dwell on that and chose to seek out the good things. So I know there's that only goes so far. There's things like, clinical diagnosed depression and stuff that you really can't fix just by thinking about it a different way, if that makes sense. There have been a lot of bad times for me in 2020, just dark times throughout this year, and I'm trying to make a concerted effort to think about the good things that happen, because if I dwell on the bad things that happen, it's just going to drag me down into that hole even further, and I don't want that. So I'm going to try and focus on the good stuff. I encourage you to also focus on the good stuff. If you're having a hard time doing that, just watch some of my stupid YouTube videos, and then you can laugh and feel better about yourself that you're not as fucking stupid as I am. Oh, goodness. But yeah, so that's it for this segment of the podcast. Next up, we are going to be talking to Lamb Chop.
What up, dog?
What up, dog?
What you doing, bro?
What you doing, bro?
Man, I'm cooking some fucking pot stickers and pizza because I'm multinational in this bitch.
Multinational. Okay, so we're going to do a podcast. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, good, because I was already recording.
Okay, good.
I feel like legally I'm supposed to tell you before I start recording.
I mean, what the fuck do you have if I sued you?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
True, that's true.
Like, it's just a lot of hassle to be like, hey, bitch, don't record me.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what I want to talk about is positive things, because a lot of shitty things have happened this year.
I gotta go, bro. What? Yeah, I'm coming. Okay. So, you sure? You know who you called, right?
Oh, for sure. And
Okay.
do you know why mainly I wanted to talk to you other than because you're my friend?
I'm scared to ask, but why?
I was going through my phone finding pictures of the happy times.
Yeah?
And I saw the pictures of you and I at the cafeteria at UVA where you were fucking dying.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah. And that's why I was
That
like,
was a fun time.
I'm going to call this motherfucker.
Is that the fun time you're talking about?
The fun time was the part where we found out you were in remission and you started looking
Oh, yeah.
like a human again.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Like, I was pretty stoked when my eyebrows grew back. I was like, yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Goofy ass motherfucker. Okay, so first question. This is a question I asked the other people that I had on. What was one thing that was off-road related that was like the best thing that happened this year? Has to be off-road related.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Fuck, I think I only went the once with you guys, and it was probably fucking watching Trevor destroy Bunny in a fucking Leaf Springs in 35s.
Right? I have
That was a good day
for that guy.
Yeah, I had a really good time that day.
That was at the Cove. That was back in August.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was like, I don't even remember what the fucking thing was. Aaron had come down, and he's always fun to fucking hang out with.
Yep.
And meeting Brooke, she was fucking legit. But yeah, it was that trip. That was a good time.
Yeah, watching him, Mr. Trevor Cate. For those of you that don't know, he can actually drive, which in the day and age of 40s and tons is a dying art, apparently.
Yeah, they should have been dead.
Just hit it.
RIP ability, we going big.
Shit. But yeah, so and there were a couple other things. We also went to Attica. We went with PJ to New York. That was a very long drive.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For a weird place. They don't sell alcohol before 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
See, like, I kind of have emotions about that because, like, the beer was okay. Like, the beer was good, and we got those bitchin' white hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that kind of made up for how bad the mud smelled. The fucking mud smelled like a goddamn porta potty, but
I feel like it smelled worse than Roush, the coal mud.
Oh, God, yeah. No, this shit was, like, straight up sewage for some reason.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you stirring something?
I was washing my hands because I just cut chicken. And
so what time you want me to come over for dinner?
Whenever you want. I can be done by the time you get here, my dog.
1 hour and 23 minutes.
27, but yes.
27.
Depends you might have to sit here for a second. So, honestly, has anybody turned the table on you and asked you your favorite wheeling moment of 2020?
No, because I haven't been wheeling.
I mean, we've been to a shit ton of events and we rode with people.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I
haven't technically been fucking wheeling either.
Oh, that's true. Are you you mean like off-road?
Yeah, just something off-road related that you truly enjoyed in 2020.
I have to say, Kyle fucking scared the ever-living fuck out of me in Utah because I had never been in a Razor or a UTV. Yo, them shits are fucking frightening.
Like, I can't believe you didn't have something ready. Like, you went to Hammers, you went to fucking, what was that, the one that you're talking about, whatever fucking event that was?
Utah. Well, like, I talked about the year.
You've been to, like, some great places this year.
Yeah, I talked about the year, but I didn't, like, pinpoint one specific one. But that's a good question. But yeah, Kyle fucking ripping over dunes where you can't see the other side of it, and you're like, I guess if I hit somebody, I hit somebody. It's
fuck yeah.
Truly terrifying.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, right? But the other thing I want to bring up, for the people watching the video and for the people listening to the podcast, you and I were texting, we were talking about how this year hasn't been the greatest, or I was fucking being dramatic about something, and you were like, yo, 2019 Angel and Lamb Chop would be proud of 2020 Angel and Lamb Chop.
Yes.
Did I butcher that, or is that kind of what you said?
No, I just said old you would be proud of new you.
Yeah, and that shit kind of fucking hit me in all the right ways.
Good.
Yeah, I really appreciate that because
I think a lot of times the both of us, we kind of focus way more on the negative and not see how far everything has come since even, we met in 2016. So
Yeah.
2015,
we just
around
had
there.
our 5-year anniversary on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you look back that far and to now, the problems that we go through now seem almost petty. And, I mean, obviously it affects you and it affects your day to day, and you can't always sit here and have fucking hindsight and all. I was just in a good mood that day.
Yeah.
I probably didn't even mean the shit, to be honest with you. I was probably drunk.
I was probably drunk being dramatic. Our emotions go in cycles.
Fuck all my great, loving, and fucking ravenous customers.
Sometimes I have bad days, God damn it.
Hey, man, you're allowed to. That's what I'm here for.
Bad weeks. There was in the middle of the year, I had a nice little spat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about dark moments.
Yeah.
I didn't want this podcast to be like, oh, this year was fucking terrific. And earlier in the part where I was doing the big overview, I was like, yo, there was some fucking dark moments, man.
Yeah, it's been a fucked up year. Like, and I mean, I'm a 99.9% sure that it's been fucked up for everybody, but it's been a rough one, but in the end, there was a lot of good shit that came out of it. So, I'm ready for it to be fucking over, though. That's for sure.
So what are you looking forward to in 2021? What is something that you want to do or get done, or a goal or something looking forward ahead to the bright spots?
Hand tattoos, dude.
Oh,
I'm finally cleared to get tattoos.
Cleared by who?
Like my doctors, my blood works again. I can get tattoos.
I thought you meant Mickey.
You mean, was that supposed to be like professional, or just what I'm looking forward to the most?
Well, whatever fucking gets you hard, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we got that check coming, and I'm gonna fucking up some tool games and get a better forge and a better grinder, and try to up productivity with the knives, and then I'm just gonna disrespect the shit out of my body. Like, I'm really fucking looking forward to that.
That's something
to be
you do
honest
every
with you.
year, though.
Well, I mean,
that's not new.
I'm consistent.
At least you're consistent.
Come on, dude.
Consistency
bright
is
side.
key.
This is supposed to be a positive podcast.
You're right. So, for those of you that don't know, that may be confused, Lamb Chop makes knives under doing business as Nargabilly Customs. So, if you want some dope shit, hit him up.
Holla.
He's sold to the likes of Gabe Mercado and Weston Niner, and I'm trying to think of
Weston was super stoked about his shit.
I'm trying to think of all the famous people.
Dane and Rex, and there's a bunch of them. I got chemo brain, but there's a bunch of 7-slot folks
with my shit. You can't use chemo brain as an excuse anymore.
Oh, it nuked it, dude. I'm literally one brain cell away from a talking monkey. Like, it's not even a joke at this point anymore. I just accepted the shit and moved on. Like, you should have seen me today. I was trying to scan some documents. I had to call for help at fucking Staples for the lady to type the fucking email for me because I couldn't fucking spell title.
Oh my god.
That was a good one. She was just like, "Oh, honey." I'm like, "Bitch."
Did you pull the cancer card?
No, she pissed me off. I almost went outside and welded her fucking lug nuts on. But
the perks of driving a welding truck everywhere.
Maybe I should weld my lug nuts on.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, Lamb Chop sends a video to the group message, and he's having death wobble, a little bit of shimmy, and he's like, man, this isn't good, especially at 60. And then 20 minutes later, he goes, oh, yep, all the lug nuts were loose on one side. Like, finger tight.
Yeah, all 8 of them bitches, man. I just walked over here, like, you could see space in between a couple of them. And then the rest of them you could just turn by hand. I was like, that shit came out of nowhere. Like, something broke for real.
How you are alive is beyond me at this point.
Dude, fucking feat of modern science, really.
Unreal. You're a fucking bionic man.
I mean, I'm fairly certain that I'm immortal. I think we've been through this. I cannot physically die.
Yeah.
But if that ever gets proven wrong, donate me to science. Like, I feel like there's a lot they could learn, like between viruses and fungus and like there's got to be some sort of way to study my brain. Like, I can't believe it's held up to what it's held up to.
A lot of abuse.
I don't know. I feel like people could learn something. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like I have stuff to offer. I mean, sadly, I got to die for it first, but you know.
Oh Jesus.
Such is life. Man, we are doing great with this positivity shit.
Right? Kudos to us. We are super good at this.
Fucking positive podcast, man. You should probably call like somebody who enjoys it.
I'm sure they will let us know in the comments. I'm also doing a video. I'm recording a video, so I can also put pictures up.
Yeah, so Chemo Brain, I literally waved when you said that. There's no fucking camera here.
Are you fucking serious?
Yep, I really fucking did that.
That's terrific.
You're like, I'm doing a video, and I just waved like randomly at the window.
Which way did you look?
At the fridge.
At the fridge, and you just waved.
Yeah, I'm pacing around in the kitchen.
Because that's where I sit when we're doing videos at your house.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Good coverage, dude.
Oh,
Thank you.
Just because I always got my hand in the fucking fridge? Fuck you.
Oh, hey, bud.
I didn't see you over there.
Yeah, what are you doing, man? You eating the sandwich?
I'm eating some of that shit you made.
The shit I made. Oh, the chicken stuff?
No, not the chicken stuff. Oh my God, why can't I think of it right now? The gumbo.
Gumbo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just did another batch, but I fucked the roux up, so it's not real good.
I bet it's still probably pretty good. And for those of you that don't know, Lamb Chop is a phenomenal
eat the shit
cook.
Out of it.
Phenomenal cook.
I mean, I don't know about phenomenal, but yeah, I'm a pretty big fucking deal in this kitchen. I may not be shit to y'all, but my mama eats my food.
That's all that really counts. All right, so I'm going to let you get back to it. I want to do a real quick short one. Just
all right, my boy.
Put out some positivity in case anybody needs it.
That's very good. Somebody out there does need it. And for anybody who does, I love you. I hope 2021 is better for everybody. And I'm just going to continue to do dumb shit. So,
and I'll be there to record it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Dynamic duo.
Yeah, we're about to. I'm planning some stuff as soon as we can start traveling again. So.
Oh yeah, that's something we haven't talked about publicly. Stay tuned for that, guys. We're gonna be doing venturing outside the off-road world a little bit.
Little bit.
All right, dude. I will talk to you soon.
Later, bro.
Later, buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the great Kyle Neubauer, PRP Seats, has joined us on the phone. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy.
So what I want to do is kind of end 2020 on a high note, talking to people that I truly care about, that I know truly have my back, you being one of those people. So I just want to ask you some questions and chat a little bit about how 2020 went. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, what is one thing that happened to you, or let me rephrase that. What is the best thing that happened to you that's off-road related? You obviously had some very high points in your life this year.
Yeah.
But if you can think of one that's off-road related.
Man, Trail Hero was exceptional. I had so much fun with everybody there. I think it went off exactly how it should have, besides Bruce happening.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
But other than that, I think that was definitely the highlight of 2020 for me. Finally, at the end of the year, coming together, everything, it was exactly how it was supposed to happen. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. And one of the things that I talk about, so this podcast is a little bit segmented. I have the part with Jarrett, and then I have a recap that I did, and then I'm adding you in, and then I'm adding a couple other people in. But Trail Hero is one of the things that I talked about in the recap. It was just absolutely incredible. Thank you again, man, for just even having me be a part of that.
Man, I was just stoked that way. I just sent you a message during our meeting. We're talking about. I'm like, I got a message, Message Angel, and it was anything for you. Yes, and I'm like, I didn't even ask yet, but okay.
Yeah, you're on that very short list.
It was amazing. It was the fact that you dropped everything and then so close to when your wife was having your son.
Yeah.
To be able to make sure you came out was. That's why I call you, because you're beyond reliable. You just do what you have to do. It's done the way you say it's going to be done, and there's no questioning it. It's perfect.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you're much appreciated for sure.
A lot of people didn't get work this year, but you were one of the ones that made sure that I always had something to do, and that means the fucking world to me, man.
But my pleasure, man. I'm glad I have the opportunity that I can do that for you. It's
Hell
awesome.
yeah. So going forward, do you have any sights set for any events in 2021? Has California opened up a little bit?
No, California has not opened up one bit.
Oof.
In fact, I think that LA County has gotten worse. So the first event, as everybody knows, is going to be King of the Hammers.
Right.
That's kind of, I guess, the elephant in the room of the off-road community. It's going to happen, but I think it's going to be a little bit different, and people are going to get pissed off. So
Right.
it's going to be good, but I mean that's the first big event, and our schedule is the same this year. Hopefully, it doesn't get shut down, and
Mm-hmm.
we can see everybody out there on the road.
So you guys are planning to carry on event schedule until someone tells you to fuck off?
Until further notice, yeah, we
Okay.
are full throttle with everything. I mean, I just did my 2021 marketing plan, and all the events are scheduled to go, and
Awesome.
so hopefully we have everything. It all happens this year. I'm hopeful for it, actually.
Yeah, we definitely need it.
Yeah, man. Like, what's crazy is our Jeep segment is growing faster than our UTV segment has in the past 2 years, and
Really?
I really
That's
want to get out
surprising.
there. Yeah, it's crazy how fast it's growing. Our Jeep seats are just like, on Black Friday we did 62 Enduro Elites, which has never been done before
Holy shit,
in
dude.
4 days. Yeah, it's absolutely insanity. Our production time yesterday got moved to 12 weeks, which is
I
we've never
saw.
had that length before. Like our production is like, what's happening? What the fuck?
Right. I saw it was on Facebook, it was on Instagram. I got emails
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, it was urgent. It was like, oh shit, because we were at 8 weeks after Black Friday. It went from 4 to 8 weeks. Now we're at 12, and
Right.
it's just we got to hire more people. So
Yeah.
business is good.
Yeah, I mean
We're
that just speaks to
super
the
thankful.
quality.
Yeah, we're thankful for everybody that's given us the shot to prove to them that our seats are the best out there.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to be upside down in mine. Whenever
really
that
hope you
is.
don't. The harness will hold you in.
Exactly. It'll be on video, I promise. We'll make a little
Can't
commercial
wait.
for you.
So good.
Yeah. All right, man.
Oh,
Well, I
man.
don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got stuff going on, but I just wanted to take this opportunity, take this podcast platform to, show people that 2020 wasn't 100% bad. There are little gleaming nuggets of awesome stuff with awesome people. So I just want to thank you
Yeah.
again. And I'm looking forward to any opportunity that we have to work together in 2021 or even see each other. Actually, matter of fact, small tangent. I was talking to my wife this morning about you, and I was like, it really doesn't matter, and I've told Kyle this, who he fucking works for. I don't give a shit if you work at Sonic. Like, you're still a dude that I want to be friends with, aside from any of the other off-road bullshit. But
Well, I appreciate that.
just wanna make that
I
clear.
feel the same. I feel the same way, man. Definitely family for sure.
Hell yeah.
It's a. I told you before personally. It's just a level of compassion you have, and the friendship we have has just been amazing the past couple of years. I'm very grateful for you are as a person.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been
So.
a fucking pleasure. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm a little bit hesitant, but I am very, very excited for what this next year holds.
Me too. I think it's gonna be good. I have some big news coming in the next couple weeks, maybe a month or so. I can share, and I think it's gonna be good.
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah. So.
All right,
Let's see what happens.
Hell yeah. Yeah, keep me posted on that. All right, man. I'll let you get back to it. I'm going to finish up recording this podcast and hopefully get it done tonight before I fall asleep well before midnight.
All right, brother. Happy New Year, man. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves, all right?
Happy New Year, man. Love you too. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, brother.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for this podcast, Seven Slot Society podcast, the Off-Road Lifestyle podcast absolutely no one asked for. This has been the recap edition of 2020. Not the best year, but trying to look at the bright side. So, cheers to you guys. Thank you for supporting me in literally everything I do. Stupid t-shirts, dumb hats, idiotic stickers, dumb live streams. I just sincerely appreciate you guys giving me your time. Money and monetary stuff can come and go, but the most valuable thing that I can get from you guys is attention and time. and you give that to me without hesitation, and that means the world to me. So hopefully I can provide a better product to you come 2021 with the podcast, with better video, investing in new camera gear and whatnot. The audio equipment will be getting upgraded eventually as well. But all in all, I just want to take this time to say thank you, sincerely thank you. I'm looking into a vast darkness of a camera lens right now, but I want you guys to know that I'm looking you in the eye and saying you thank you. Saying you thank you, saying thank you. This is my first beer. I want to say thank you is the bottom line. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to what 2021 has to offer, starting with King of the Hammers. Fingers crossed everything goes to plan. Hopefully I can see some of you guys out there. But that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you take a second to reflect on the good things that happened to you this year and not dwell too much on the bad shit. But that's it. See you guys next year.